Well, it looks like we finally have a response, ladies and gentlemen. Helldivers 2 game director has finally decided to speak out against all the nonsense that's been happening with Helldivers 2 recently because of the boycott that the game is currently experiencing. A lot of gamers right now who are playing Helldivers 2 are highly upset due to the fact that the developer keeps nerfing the weapons that everybody enjoys, making the game completely unfun, and they essentially are applying this kind of nerf to anything and everything that gets even remotely too much attention from the player base, right? It's not like the game actually needs that particular nerf. It's just if the developers see that too many people are focusing on that one particular gun for whatever reason, it might not even be OP. It just might be more fun. They decide to nerf it and take it away from the gamers.
You are a thief of joy.
Well, now apparently Helldivers 2 game director has finally came out and spoken out against the backlash and talked about the escalation of freedom update. So let's get into it, guys. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So it says Helldivers 2 game director Mikael Eriksson shared a message to the games community in the wake of massive backlash and protest to weapon nerfs. Helldivers 2 has seen massive backlash from its player base in the past week. Reddit user Gnomker posted about a week ago, "Words cannot express how disappointed and angry I am feeling right now. More nerfs? Really? What is the reason for more fucking nerfs to guns that we're 100% okay with and had fun with them? What in the liberty fuck is going on at Arrowhead?" I'm telling you, man, people are having an absolute meltdown over these nerfs, and rightfully so, because again, I get it. A PvE game does need its balance too. There's no doubt about it, and I'm not taking that away from the developers. I know a lot of people in the comments who were shills for Helldivers 2 were like, "Oh, but the nerfs are okay. PvE games need nerfs too and balances." I understand. I never said they didn't. What I'm saying is that you're nerfing these guns as if they're being used against other players. You're nerfing these guns and you're nerfing the fun aspect of the game almost immediately every single time as if there is a competitive level to this game. It is a PvE game. People join up and have fun and play together and go kill bugs and machines and whatnot. That's what they do. The fact that you're trying to beat people over the head with a bat as if this is a PvP game, I can understand the frustration from a lot of gamers. And you guys got to understand, too, as much as you may want to show for this game, and trust me, there is a lot of shills for this game. And I'm okay with that. Every game's allowed to have their shills. No problem. The fact of the matter is, man, this particular game needs as many people to play as possible, right? That's the whole idea. It's not a competitive game. The competitiveness is not going to carry the game through its many years. You know what I mean? It has to be the fun factor. It has to be the part where people are going to come together for a common cause and want to play a PvE game. Games like Overwatch, team shooter games, first-person shooter games like Call of Duty, the competitive nature of those games will carry it through, right? Just being able to actually go against another player will be enough for most people to want to play the game. You don't have that here in Helldivers 2. So you have to make the game fun. You have to make sure that it's interesting to get people to keep coming back every single week to enjoy the game and play the game. Now, with that being said, still, it does need balances, and if there's a weapon that's blatantly OP, obviously they're going to want to fix it. However, people are still heavily upset, especially if they happen nonstop, right? It's like every single patch for Helldivers that I hear about has fucking nerfs in it. It gets a little bit to be insane. He continued, "At this point, I'm starting to believe the entire balancing team wants to silently kill this game and any fun from playing it. It is a blatant sabotage that needs to be addressed ASAP. It's fucking ridiculous. This is absolutely despicable. Disgusting behavior from Arrowhead's balancing team to continue with all those bullshit changes that make no sense whatsoever. After so much time and so many outrages from the community, they've been informed thousands of times to change their ways and start balancing this game towards being more fun and not punishing. Rant over. Post your thoughts below. Am I full of shit or onto something? Because I refuse to want to believe that these people can be so incompetent into understanding that we do not want or need more nerfs," he concluded. Former World of Warcraft team lead Mark Kern, aka Grums, also noted earlier this week that players were protesting by allowing the bot faction to invade Super Earth. Now, I made a video about this. I thought it was pretty damn hilarious that they're actually letting the bot faction take over Super Earth just to kind of protest. And I really want to see more of this. I do, because, it reminds me of the age-old days. You guys, maybe some of you watching my videos right now are old school gamers like me, so you might remember this. But do you remember when the guild leader who eventually went on to work at Blizzard, Jeff Kaplan, Do you guys remember when Kaplan was the leader of his guild in EverQuest, and this man protested in-game, right? He fucking protested in-game against the developers, and that ended up catching the attention of the developers because he was part of a guild that was so fucking famous in that game. And that's eventually how he got his recognition and eventually started working at Blizzard. It was actually pretty insane. Nothing different here. You know, gamers protesting inside of a game is nothing different. We've seen it so many times, but it does work. When it's done properly, it does work. And Grums probably remembers that because obviously he was with Blizzard during its heyday. Grums commented, "This is the worst management of a hugely promising game. They have no idea how to manage PvE balance and content updates. Stop the addiction to nerfs. Provide real content updates instead of endless balance tweaks. Make the war meta mean more. Many potential fixes." And again, a lot of people would try to make it seem as if Grums is a grifter, this, that, or whatever. But the fact of the matter is, man, the guy has a long, long history of PvE-oriented content that is highly respected from back in his day, just like Jeff Kaplan, right? Jeff Kaplan ended up raging at the EverQuest developers because of a certain encounter within EverQuest that was so fucking broken and dumb that he had a meltdown on the forums and just completely destroyed the developers in a long post. Same exact thing with Grums, man. Grums was around during the original World of Warcraft days, which was in its prime. Hardcore PvE raid content. They know what they're talking about when it comes to PvE stuff. Earlier this month, CEO of Arrowhead Studios, Shams Georgiani, acknowledged the backlash. He wrote on X, "We've got a ton of players returning to the game to give it a go. We're tracking bugs and issues and planning ahead of the hotfix. I'm getting a lot of feedback on different parts of the update. Different player groups are liking, disliking different things, depending on playstyle." He continued, "To nobody's surprise, casual dads/moms, all the way to the Milsim players are enjoying different things. We'll keep monitoring and seeing how things are going in a day or so. I use those terms loosely, not an exact science. Don't quote me." Next, he added, "Some are going to buff everything. Others are saying it's too easy. Most are in-game just playing. Every new big update requires a bit of playtime before we know which direction to fine-tune things. Appreciate the patience." So, again, look at this here. Players have decided to come back, okay, because they hit a real bad low. They were in the teens, all right? They were in, like, I think 18,000, 19,000, something like that. Now they shot up to 52,000. As of the August 6th, okay? It's probably back down again, most likely. But still, they did get some players back. They're obviously nowhere near their all-time 6-month peak, which is 458,000. So they lost 400,000 players overall at the peak. That's a pretty big hit. But, you know, these live service games, they're never going to live at this number forever. It's impossible, right? The honeymoon phase eventually ends, and if the game is not constantly updated to be fun, and they're actually doing the opposite, they're making it not fun, yeah, people are going to be over it. They're not going to want to play this shit anymore, and they're going to want to walk away from it. In a response to a user noting players are upset about the weapon nerfs, Georgiani said, "Look, I get it. I mained the Liberator, Penetrator, and I've been given any juice since forever. What I'm saying is that we are listening and we'll tweak it, and we always do, and we'll tweak again after that," he added. Now, game director Mikael Eriksson has issued a statement to Helldivers 2 gamers to the game's official Steam page. He wrote, "I want to directly address the feedback you raised about the escalation of Freedom update. We spent the last week listening to feedback, reflecting about the path ahead for Helldivers 2 and how we want to continue developing the game. In short, we didn't hit our target with the latest update. Some things we just didn't get right, and other more fundamental inconsistencies in our approach to game balance and game direction." He continued, all of that is on us, and we are going to own that. As many of you have pointed out, and we agree, what matters now most is action, not talk. From there, he issues things the company plans to accomplish within the next 60 days. Okay, let's see what we got. Continue to re-examine our approach to balance. Our intention is that balance should be fun, not balance for the sake of balance. Update how, well, that's balance for the sake of balance is what you've been doing since the game came out. So I don't know why you're going to change it now all of a sudden. Update how the fire damage mechanic works to tweak how the flamethrower serves as a close-range support weapon. A click-straight revert won't work, and it won't break other things. Rework gameplay to prevent excessive ragdolling. Rethink our design approach to primary weapons and create a plan for making combat more engaging. Reprioritize bug fixes so that the more immediate gameplay impacting bugs are prioritized. Improve game performance. Frame rate is a focus. Rework chargers. So, oh wait, we have more. He also added what they plan to be looking at in the long term. Exploring creation of an opt-in beta test environment to improve our testing processes, and we consider this a high priority. Post regular player surveys to gather more insights and feedback from the community. Improve our process for patch release notes, providing more context and reasoning behind changes. More blog posts and streams where we expand on these topics for those interested. We also want to thank you for your patience. We're grateful that so many of you could provide constructive feedback and suggestions on the latest update. So listen, a lot of PR speak, obviously, you know, this is something that was heavily filtered before they put out. There's no doubt about it. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's wrong or a bad thing what they're saying. I just think it's a lot of PR speak. And like they said in the post, people are looking for action now. They're not looking for promises. If you're saying that you're now going to start balancing things differently, then that just proves that you've been balancing things in a completely wrong way since the game came out, which we know that to be true based off every single patch that's come out since the game came out. So again, if you're going to do this, stick to it. Actually do it. Don't just say you're going to do it. Do it and let your actions speak louder for the players than what the bullshit you've been saying for the past few months now. Maybe you could get some of your players back. Obviously, you're not going to get all of them back, but the fact that you jumped from 20,000 to 55,000 shows that there are people out there still interested. There are people out there that want to give Helldivers a go. There are people out there that want to continue playing this game. So long as you make it fun and stop nerfing every fucking thing into oblivion, I think that you're going to get a pretty decent, sizable player base to make money off of. That's the ultimate goal at the end of the day. So time will tell what they do, and we're just going to follow this story from here on out and see if they actually follow through in 60 days. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.